Did Sega just kill a PSO2 for a lot of players? And if so, what exactly did they do? And of course, today we're going to be discussing all that, what exactly is going on with it, because is it complex? But before we hop into it, welcome back to your #1 top for PSO2 New Genesis gameplay, how-tos, and of course, all that jazz. But before we jump fully into this, I do want to give a giant thank you to everybody that is supporting over on patreon.com/Maconn. Thank you, my dudes, and a giant thank you to 1K for subscribing at the Luna Teal. But with that all being said, let's jump into this and let go over everything that is happening inside of PSO2. So to start off here, just a heads up on this, the information is coming from the official website, as well as this rollout of this update will not be hitting the game to the June update that will be hitting NGS and base as well for the new Round Reborn wannabe type of update that is coming then. So just know this is not in the game yet, so you got to elite June to take advantage of this before I get this become the norm. So with that being said though, what exactly is Sega doing? It's of course getting rid of one of the biggest motivators for a lot of people to go back to bait PSO. If you play PSO because you love it, enjoy it, because it's great, let's be honest, it's fantastic. But for a lot of players playing bait PSO, it's nothing more than a mean to the end of just being a star gem grind, especially if you buy your star gem stuff such as your mission pad, your extra storage, or if you just like doing scratches. Bait PSO is a fantastic way to get a whole bunch of star gems every single week, and in some cases, if you talk about the main story, pretty much, a crap ton there with title that can equal hundreds of dollars of free-to-play currency here. And of course, that is the main thing, and that is being gutted here. So, as I stated here, when it comes to this, is as part of the June update for some of the weekly rankings in PSO2 blocks that currently have a fewer players will be being replaced by SG ticket reward with various items here. So, of course, this is going to be tied to the leaderboard stuff. That, once again, is tied to a whole bunch of different campaigns and stuff or events that we will talk about in a moment. But from there, we do move on into before making the replacement to increase the chance for more players to get a star gem in the update coming on the 5th of April. The update will make it possible for players to get 10 extra star gems each week by completing the weekly task in NGS blocks. So right away to start off, that might not seem that bad. Like, hey, they might be removing it in bait game, but we're getting more in NGS. But the thing is, that is not at all what's happening here. They are going to give us star gems, but the star gems itself is nowhere near on par with what you will be getting from a PSO2. So this is a huge downgrade for that. But beyond this part of the update, let's go ahead and get into what ranking we are talking about here. So to start off, we do have our, container operation rank, personal quarter visit ranking, time attack rankings, as well for group and solo. And this was, of course, by taking part in the event and placing from anywhere rank 1 to 100, you will be rewarded, as you can see here, with rank 1 getting up to 200 star gems, and rank 21 to 100 getting 10 star gems a week, and everywhere else in between. And of course, these are going away and just being replaced with augment transfer passes here, so you will be getting 80 at a 4th rank and 10 at 21 to 100 rank. And if you play PSO, this might be something that maybe will come in handy, kinda. But let's be honest, not really. This is one of them cases of this is only really useful if you only play a PSO2 or play it to a extent that it technically count more than just a few minutes a week. So if you are someone who mainly just play PSO to get star gem for NGS, this is a huge downgrade happening here. And if you are playing in a bait PSO mainly, This is still unfortunate, especially since the cosmetic and NGS that you could get with doll gems, as well as the extended storage and whatnot, can also be bought with doll gem and bait PSO. So, once again, this is not great. But moving from that, we do have also some challenge rankings that will also be adjusted. So to start off, mission strikes are all going to be hit as well. Mission decision as well as mission start challenge ranking will be affected. So to start off here, at rank 1, you will get 100 star gems. Rank 11 to 50, you are getting 30 star gems, and then 2 through 10 will get 50. And once again, these are also being replaced with Augment Transfer Pack. So pretty much with the changes coming in on June, the only really consistent way to get your hands on Star Gem Elite and PSO2 at that point is going to be tied to doing the main story missions and titles. But as you can see, that's not really something that is repeatable, that is like a one-time event. And I know a lot of people, not only that you bait PSO just to get Star Gem for them players, I know there are also players who pretty much hop into PSO every a week or so while they're doing a weekly and dailies and whatnot in NGS. Hop in, go do the ranking to make some Star Gems a week as well. And they are now officially going away. But there is, I get a couple other ways you can get Star Gem and bait PSO, such as the casino. But at the same time, the large amount is officially going bye-bye. So the better question, though, is this going to be one of them cases of SEGA removing this? And since they're obviously trying to make it sound like a good thing with adding only 10 a week in NGS, it is once again another tactic to try to get people to move over to NGS and leave baits behind so they can just slowly let it sunset in the past? Or is it just the fourth step of actually just getting rid of the content wholesale? I get with that. Let me know in the comment what you think it might be, because at that point, I feel like they are indeed, once again, having the issue of having something that is fantastic and something that need to be promoted, especially in global. But sadly, with the watching to it before NGS and even now, with SEGA obviously wanting to move along to NGS. That is what is happening here, which honestly, I don't blame them for wanting to move on to NGS. But at the same time, this is one of them cases of ideally, if you want to, keep the player base, especially in global, engage with up to do maybe closing down parts of bait PSO like this and removing incentive for people to actually give it a try to see if they enjoy it, is going to hurt what player base is left in PSO2, and it's just extremely sad because as someone who's been covering NGS for the last 3 years, I pretty much was hoping that PSO2 would be the game that would have been the game we played during the down moments of NGS, and then we go back to NGS on the high time to NGS fully get going. But let's be honest, at that weight, I don't think SEGA really care in global or in Japan really about bait PSO that much. So we will see how long they keep this around, but it started back when NGX came out, and now we get moving into Star Gems, and honestly, it doesn't feel like SEGA is just kind of chopping bit by bit uphill. But that's just my opinion, though. Let me know in the comment yours. And of course, while you are down there, make sure to do the thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bell to keep up with everything that is happening with PSO2, NGS, and MMOs here on the channel. And of course, like always, I will go ahead and see you in the comments.